Hey guys, welcome back to Amnesia the Dark Descent. Let's continue on our way through this spooky castle and find us some chemicals. I'm looking in oil. Perfectly fine. But, okay. So here's where we catch our first glimpse of a grunt. Now, I believe when this game first came out, if you just stayed in this corner over here and just didn't look at him, he would eventually walk away. But in all the times I've played, he just stays here and doesn't go, no matter how long you hide. So the only thing that actually makes him go away is by crouching in this corner, keeping your gaze on the floor, and just crouch walking here, and then he goes away. So that doesn't exactly help. See, right there. And of course, if you stare at him for too long, he will see you. He's not going anywhere. Yes, Daniel, we know you're scared. Oh! Ah, you're gonna make me look a liar this time, are you? Yeah, he normally doesn't go away. Or maybe I just didn't wait long enough. Maybe that's the problem. Now, if you stare at the enemies too long in this, they do eventually see you and come after you. I'm not sure if that applies to that grunt. Like, if you just stare at him, he'll chase you down. I haven't tested it, nor do I particularly want to. Got it. But I think it's probably best not to tempt fate. Who's walking out there? There's all this wine. Pick it up. Pick it up! You know, if you were a raging alcoholic, then being locked in this wine cellar with all this wine here, provided it wasn't just that one tiny little room over there, wouldn't be too bad, because you'd be like, I have all this wine to enjoy. I mean, if this was cider, I guess I would be happy, as I'm more of a cider drinker myself. So what kind of alcohol do you guys like to drink? Do you drink wine? Are you a beer person? Do you like cider, vodka? What are your preferences with alcohol? Or do you just not drink it? And that's the final chemical. That brings his sanity up to full. Get you. Not missing any. Yeah, they really don't need to put these trails on the floor that lead you to the chemicals. If you just walk up to this, you can see them sitting there. Like, why do we need the trails? Oil. Top up. Oh yes, and laudanum is the health potion, basically. So, if we get hurt, oh, right now, drink that, and heals us. You come across laudanum a lot throughout this, so you actually end up with a lot of it, because if you know what you're doing, particularly on normal, you don't actually get hurt all that often. So they probably could have made the laudanum a bit less common and just maybe replaced it with more tinderboxes and oil. Oh, there's the shadow again. Pulsating tissue. Ow. Let's go to the laboratory. In Dexter's laboratory lives the smartest boy you'll ever see. I'm gonna light you, because I have plenty of tinderboxes. Put this away, it's not dark enough. To you too, Mr. Whale. Oil over here. Back to yellow. Sure I'm not missing anything. Here. Just who actually spreads all these tinderboxes and bottles of oil around the castle, really? Who's doing that? Is that a dog? I'm not sure if I've heard that. Also, this is shaking. Chemical relocation. The lack of a chimney to properly vent the fumes from my most recent experiments has taken its toll on many of my less stable ingredients in storage. Some seem unaffected, but many are stained by the fumes and will be difficult to salvage. I shall do what I can and move them to the wine cellar. So that's pretty much all the chemicals that we found. Oil. Delirium. Tremonium. Stop shaking so I can read. Buttery. Aptla cannabis. Cannabis! Alexander?
There should be more cuprites.
Cuprites. Because that's a thing.
Let me see. And one part aquafortis.
Aquafortis. I remember that from chemistry. Or whatever Markiplier said. Early alchemy experiments. This is my third attempt to produce artificial vitae. The former compounds lacks the potency I need, but I sense I'm close. Calamine and orpiment are a given, and the cuprites binds them well. This time I will attempt aqua regia instead of aquafortis in hope it will produce a more even solution. The experiment was unsuccessful. The solution is highly acid. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be highly acidic, and proves impractical to put to any use except as a detergent. Detergents aren't meant to be acidic, I don't think. Organic tissue reacts especially violently to the solution and should be handled with the greatest care. I might be able to use the recipe, but I'm losing hope that I will find an alchemic solution to my predicament. So Alexander dabbled in alchemy. I'm looking. Oh. You know, if he wanted help with alchemy, he could have just asked Edward and Alphonse to help. One day I will return. If it wasn't for the thought of you, my love, I wouldn't be able to go on. When I find myself doing terrible things, I take comfort in you. As long as I am able to think of you and long for a life together, I know I'm better than the others. I weep for them. They lust for power without restraint, where I only crave fair judgment and a safe return. So I don't actually know what these things are, but that is definitely Alexander talking. So, does anybody know the name of these things? Like memory capsules or whatever? Tinderbox in the fireplace. Oh, thank you. Boxes. And down there you'll see the splashing of a conch or a water monster. We'll be seeing him soon enough. So now, we gotta make this solution. I barely touched the thing! There. Put on the burners. That really lights up the area. So we need a bit of green, some purple, red, and a little pink. If that's acidic, why is it not eating through the container? Also, what kind of acid is it? Like sulfuric? Some other kind? I'm not versed with different types of acids. And the stairway has collapsed. Was that the shadow that did that? So there's two ways you can get up here. You can either use the boxes, the crates here, to make a little makeshift steps and jump up there, or you take this, move it over here, and that happens. I did not know that for the longest time, but that's very handy. Get up, Daniel. Oh yeah, and of course the torch goes out. I'm not sure what all of this text is meant to be. Like who it actually alludes to, if it's Daniel or just other people. No idea. And the shadow appears again. Covers everything with jam. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna call it jam from now on. Like instead of flesh, it's jam. Thank you, zero punctuation. So we've done everything in this area of the castle. So now we're gonna head down to the refinery. Squish. 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 So, like the note said, we throw acid on it, and it burns away. Well, that's dark. Next area, the refinery. I think this is referring to Daniel on his expedition. I'm not sure. It's dark in here.
Yes, and there's a good reason for it.
Which
But
is
you
never
can light the
explained.
lamp now, if you wish.
What's the reason for the darkness, that is?
Stay close. Be careful not to stray.
What's the reason? Why is it so dark?
Pay attention, Daniel. It's important that you keep going straight and make sure not to stray.
You're not going to tell us why it's dark, Alexander? You ever heard of answering people's questions? Yeah, and this tells us that crouching in the dark makes us much harder to see, so that's something you should always do. Oh, there's another one. There's more jam everywhere. I have no idea what these vats are meant to contain. Like, are these... I don't think they'd be wine, because this is a refinery. So there's obviously chemicals in these, or would be chemicals. There's the shadow again. Oil. Use the last two up.
Is anyone there?
Not really. So that's Daniel talking, obviously, although I don't know if that's meant to be him talking right here, or if that's just a memory of his. More laudanum? How's our health? Good.
22nd of June, 1839. It's been more than a month since my last entry. After the event, inside the underground chamber in
Have any of
Algeria,
you guys ever kept a
Professor Herbert
journal or a
insisted
diary?
I returned to England.
I never
He
have.
said he
I've
didn't want to
just
risk
never
forfeiting
really
the
had any
entire
need to.
expedition lest I took a turn for the worse. An excessive decision.
I've never kept
in
a
retrospect.
diary or journal for
But I'm
anything.
glad it turned out that way.
I've just never had reason
I
to.
found my journal this morning in the haphazard collection of things brought home from Africa. Next to it lay the broken stone orb wrapped in cloth. I tried to assemble it, but couldn't. The pieces wouldn't fit together, as if they weren't from the same object. Could I have imagined it all? Was there ever a complete orb?
Yep, there sure was, Daniel. Although I guess since you were kind of suffocating at the time, you wouldn't be that odd to assume it was made up. So there's a way in because the door's blocked, but we're not going to go there just yet. There's a couple more, one or two more notes to find. Just tinder boxes. You. Okay, it's not quite. Oh, now there it is. So that was the grunts breaking a door down. And now our sanity is at its second lowest. So when it gets to this stage, the whole environment starts warping around. And you can hear Daniel breathing heavily. Read the note, Daniel.
25th of June, 1839. I feel the need to continue this journal, even though it was intended for my journey to Africa. This must be something very important. I just know it. I've taken it upon myself to piece the orb back together, but it's been more difficult than one might think. The pieces are behaving strangely. They seem to change color, shape, and texture, but ever so slightly.
They're magical.
Yesterday, I took careful measurements and notated any significant markings. Today, I confirmed my suspicions.
They were changing.
I was terrified and rushed off to see the finest geologist in London, Sir William Smith. I approached the subject with care, and we discussed how rocks change form. He told me about the nature of glass, how it eventually collapses on itself, like ice slowly melting over the course of centuries. Smith eased my mind a bit, but I can't escape the feeling that these shards have otherworldly properties.
They do. These orbs are not from of this world, Daniel. Or are they? Maybe they came from space or something? I don't know. I don't know the lore of the orbs. There's the shadow again. Yeah, and this is what happens to the camera when your sanity is very low. You kind of overshoot. I'm just gonna light these. So there's the hatch. Get some light in here. Get as much light as possible. Oh. Okay. Let's put the camera back to normal. I have plenty of tinder boxes. I can afford to do this. Oh. Yeah, over the box. Oh, sanity's gone up. That's good. These. Have I picked up that? I actually have no idea whether I've actually opened that chest before. I think I just never came around to this part of the room. So as you can see, there are crates here. No idea who put them there. Or maybe Daniel did. Maybe he was trying to hinder himself. Now we need to open this hatch. However, there's a stick here. We can just about reach it. And just... that. Or you can throw a box at it, which I've done. However, this hatch is too heavy to lift by hand, so we have to use this handy dandy wheel. Here we go. Right, down we go. And there's more jam. Yeah, I'm just gonna go. I think I should just call it jam from now on. And I know it's tissue, but maybe it's just maybe it's jam with a lot of fiber in it because of all these strands here. Alright. Now comes the water part. This is, I believe, according to Joshua Hayes, most people's first quit moment. Look, doesn't this look inviting? There's candles everywhere, there's light, there's something spooky here. So we just know... oh! And now we run! Now we run, now we run, now we run, now we run, now we run. Nope, nope. Alright, there's the Karenk, as it's called. Karenk, K-A-E-R-N-K. Karenk. I don't know how you pronounce it. Yes, I see you. Well, I see you splashing. So this is the first real enemy we face. And judging by these bones, these things have eaten a lot of people. So the first thing we need to do is we need to get by him. So we're going to throw this book over here to distract him. We're going to pull that, and then we're going to run and jump. We gotta try to stay out of the water as much as possible. However, we are on it. Get on the box. We are on the timer. This part's always intense. This always gets me nervous. So now we got another one here. Fortunately, we have pieces of meat here that we can distract it with. So we'll throw that torso in there. Wait till he splashes his way over there. Take your time. Go savor it. Oh, then we take advantage of it. I've never noticed that oil there. I never knew that oil was there. Huh. Okay, let me grab you. Oh. Push you. Okay. Hey, oh, want some more? Yep. Want the meat? Want the meat? Want the human meat? Go get the meat! Oh, there's one right there. Oh, it just kicks it in. Oh, off he goes. So, yep. Yep. Good. Get this open. This thing could not open any slower. Okay, he's coming back. Okay, fortunately we have one more piece of meat right here. Okay. Fetch! Just wait till he starts eating. Now we run. Just close that quickly. I'm not missing any tin boxes or anything, am I? Pick up this needle that's here for whatever reason. This door is locked, so we have to use this as a makeshift lockpick. And we're out. That bit's not too difficult, although I have actually been caught by those things once or twice, where they've actually taken a swipe at me, but I don't even want to know what that's like on hard. Okay, and now we have to run again, because we get another one chasing us. Only this one is bigger, but slower. However, this one, from what I understand, will one-shot you if it catches you. Which is probably why they made it slower than the other ones. So we just have to run like the wind, bullseye! And that's obvious, and that's obviously happening when it's getting close. Don't bother with closing the doors, that just wastes time. Just run. And we're out. That entire section is definitely one of the most nerve-wracking parts, no matter how many times I play it. Now, that second one has never caught me, because it's slower, but I am not tempting fate. Alright, so now we have a breather section. Peaceful music. So that's an indication of where we need to go next, but we're not going to go there yet. And then there's this baby-faced millipede fountain. Why did I say mountain? Oh, we can touch the water. Can you imagine if someone actually had a fountain that looks like this? You would not want to be friends with them. Like, this has to be the most nightmare-inducing lawn ornament someone could have. Ugh. So from here we have three options. We go through that door to get to storage, which contains some of the bits we need. We can go that way, which is the guest room, or that way, which is the study. I always go to storage, so basically I go from one scary part to another. Look at that majestic eagle there. Imagine having this at your house, like, that would really impress people. Right, off to storage we go. Like I said, one scary part to another, that's typically how I do things. And then I go to the guest room and study as the breather parts. It's also very dark in here, Daniel. I'm just gonna light some of these. Strange and unnatural. I wonder why that could be. Tinderbox. I'm just gonna light up this room a bit. So in here we find first some more tinderboxes, and the first of a drill bit. And then the grunt appears. So the door's closed, but we're still gonna hide. So something that I personally do whenever this situation happens, where you hear the grunts or the brutes and the music starts, I just find a place to hide and then wait for the music to stop. And then I go. Which means I'm gonna be waiting a bit longer than... Maybe I should, but honestly, I don't want to take the risk of running into one of those things. Even if it does cost me sanity, better to be safe. Here we go. Oh, I don't know if I ever picked up that one either. There are a crap ton of tinderboxes around this place. Again, have not got the achievements of finding them all. But, if I get it by accident on this playthrough, that'll be pretty funny. Equipment. I think we go this way first, because that leads to the cave-in where which we need to clear. Another memory.
Please, let me go. I won't tell anyone, I swear. I just want to go home. No!
I'm a liar. Here's the cave-in. So we need to clear this. Anything? Okay. And here's one of a number of doors where it won't budge. It's clearly budging. Throw a box at it. Open. So we gotta go this way. There's stuff under the stairs. How exactly did they get all that stuff under there? Is there a secret passage somewhere? Or was that put there before the stairs were put in? And here's a whole bunch of what I assume is firewood. Oh. Tinderbox. Regarding explosive mixture, Alexander. I have prepared the explosives you needed for clearing the flood drain. I can't stress enough how important it is that the mixture is handled with care. Please try to tell your featherbrained servants this before you go ahead with your plans. The liquids are not by themselves explosive and should be kept separated to avoid further mishaps. I have arranged 2 large vats in the next room for the ingredients. All you need to do is mix the liquids and you are ready to go. Agrippa. I'm not going to attempt to read that in a German accent. Oh, out of oil. Oh, but we are out of time, so I will get to the next episode, and I'll see you guys later.